Good morning, students. Today we are discussing lesson topic 2 motion. So in the previous classes we have already learned about that it is a branch of science. Science is divided into three parts, that is physics, chemistry and bio. So this motion comes under physics. So what is meant by physics? Once we have a short discussion regarding physics. So it is a branch of science with the study of natural phenomena. What is meant by natural phenomena? Phenomena is nothing but which is observable, like how the fan is running. We can see the fan is running, right? How the bulb is glowing, how the AC is working, etc. So many things like walking, moving, lifting. So many examples we'll see in our day-to-day life. So that all comes under physics. So now states of motion. Before going into the motion, we have two types of motion, like how we have in the chemistry, like solids, liquids and gases. So in the physics we have two states. So that is rest or stationary also we will call, or we can also call stable. Another one is a motion. Motion is nothing but movement. So rest means staying at one place. So you can just see the examples like bed, table, TV, AC, road, or so many things. So which is stable in position, which will not move from one place to another place, we will call it as a rest position. Okay. Next one is a motion. Motion is nothing but the movement. Like example, how the fan is running, how the moving vehicles we can see running, walking, like a wall clock is running, vehicles on the road. These all are the movement. They are doing the movement, right? So that comes under the examples of motion. So before going to the motion, we will have a detailed discussion about what is the definition of motion. The phenomenon of change of position of object with respect to time and observer. To understand this definition, I will give you a small example. See here, one point is this. So think this is one observer. One object or one person, he is at the position A position and at a time 0 seconds. Now he is at what motion? He is at the rest position. So after some time what happens? He will travel from one place to another place. He is changing the position from A to B. At what time? At 2 seconds. So now what he has done? He has done the motion. The phenomena of change of position. So the object is moving from one place to another place. One object is moving from one place to another place with respect to time. So here time is 0 seconds. Then after some time, what is the time? Time is 2 seconds. So with respect to time and observer. For observer, I'll give you one more example so that you will understand very clearly. See here. Here one house is there. Yes. And one person is standing here and another person is standing. Like Sham and Ram. I gave the names like Sham and Ram. So when we ask Ram where the house is located, so what he will answer? He will answer it is located toward the left side according to his position. Yes, according to his position the house is located at the left side. If we ask Sham where is the house, he will say towards my right side. So why? Because both are correct. Both are correct according to their situation. When he is standing this side, it is at the left side. When this person is standing here, it will be right side. So which one is the correct? That is nothing but it depends on the observer with respect to observer. So location is relative. Here this point we will call it as a relative point, and stable position we will call it as a relative point. And the observer from which place, that we have to see. In the next coming exercises you will understand very clearly. So that is nothing but the motion, the phenomenon of change of position of object with respect to time and observer. Clear? Next, coming to relative motion. So what is meant by relative motion? Now we have learned that what is meant by motion. Motion is nothing but it's a change of position with respect to time and observer. So what is meant by relative? Just now I told relative means a particular place. See, all comparisons between any two physical quantities. Physical quantities I will explain in the coming next point, are relative to in nature, are relative in nature. Suppose we'll see one example. Here this is road. So one bus is moving and two persons are sitting in that one. Person A and person B. And another person who is out of the road is standing on the road. He is observer. See, when observer, we will give one name as O. So according to observer, wait. According to O is nothing but observer. The passenger who is sitting in the bus A is in motion, right? According to this person, the person who is sitting in the bus is in motion, right? Then according to B, the person who is sitting beside him, A, in what position will be, you tell? In what position? So when this person is sitting, the other person also sitting, right? So he is in the rest position. But according to the observer, both are in the motion. Both are in the motion. They are moving in the bus. But according to these two persons, one person to other, we are comparing. All comparison between two persons, between observer and the passenger, and between two passengers. Between two passengers we are observing. So all comparisons between any two physical quantities. Physical quantities means which can be measured, like length, mass, weight, speed, force. These all comes under physical quantities. This I will explain. This are relative in nature. So clear? So one more example I will give you to understand better. Earth is rotating. You all know Earth will be rotating. Okay? We all are on the Earth. Earth is rotating. But we are in the rest position. We are also moving means what? We can't stand in a stable position. So when Earth is rotating, we are all in rest position. So you can take the better example for relative motion. Next is the linear motion. So linear motion is nothing but it is a straight line path motion. Like we have many types of motions like linear motion, circulatory motion, translatory motion. So many motions are there, but we will discuss the linear motion in the coming exercises. Okay. The next, distance versus displacement. What is meant by distance? So in the previous classes you have all come across all these words: distance, displacement, magnitude, vector, scalar. All these words you are familiar, but still again I will explain once again. So what is meant by distance? Total path length covered by the body. I will explain with examples. Well, then what is meant by displacement? It is the shortest distance between initial and final position. See here one example I have given. Suppose here one person is there at point A. One person is standing here. So what he is doing? He is traveling from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F and F to G. So what he has done? He has travelled all this distance. If you want the distance means we have to calculate all these. We have to calculate AB plus BC plus CD plus DE plus EF plus FG. So this total values will give you the distance. Whereas the displacement, the shortest distance, initial point means starting point and final point means ending point. So the shortest distance from A to G, that is nothing but displacement. Okay. See in the case 2, one more example I will give you to understand very clearly. So here one person, here one point is traveling. One person is traveling from A to B at 4 km and B to C 2 km. So we want the total distance. Distance how much? 6k. 4 plus 2, 6k. So 6 kilometer he traveled total distance. If you want the displacement, both same. So because it is in a straight line. Yes. Distance also same. Displacement also same. Displacement also 6 kilometer he traveled, because there is no direction is there. See next one, another you see in the case 2, a person is traveling from A to B. Here also traveled A to B 4 kilometer. Here also he traveled 4 kilometer. But what happened at the B position? He changed his direction. He changed his direction. Here distance will be total 4 plus 2 we will get 6 kilometers same. There is no change. But whereas displacement will change according to the change of position. So he has traveled from A to B is 4 kilometer and B to C is 2 kilometer. So this is the initial point, this is the final point. This is the shortest distance. Here you can just see it is the shortest distance between initial and final position. Here is the initial position and this is a final position. This will get the displacement. So displacement how much we will get? 5 kilometer. See, if you this type of sums you will get in the exams. He will ask, he will give distance and displacement and he will ask some questions based on these. Okay. Next comes under physical quantities. So just now I have told what is meant by physical quantities. All those quantities which can be measured like length, mass, time, temperature, distance, speed, force, this all comes under physical quantities. So in this we will learn mostly about what is this length, mass. Will also will have scalar quantity and vector quantity. We will learn about what is meant by scalar quantity. Those physical quantities which can be completely described by magnitude alone. See, you can just see the example here. See here one scale I took. So from A to B this is 5 centimeter. This is 5 centimeter. The total length we will call it as magnitude. Okay, the total length we will call it as magnitude and it is represented by A point B. Whereas in scalar we need only the direction. We need only the magnitude. We require only the total length we want. We want how much it is traveled from A to B. The total length we want. That is nothing but magnitude. We will call it as magnitude. Whereas in vector quantity, those physical quantities nothing but which can be measured like length, mass, weight, force, all those comes under the physical quantities which can be measured, which needs a magnitude and direction. Magnitude is nothing but the total length it is covered. And it also requires a direction, in which direction it is moving. We require, and it is represented with this symbol, arrow symbol. Vector quantities are represented with arrow symbol, but every time they will not represent like this, but we have to identify. See the example. So same scale I took. It is also 5 centimeter. What is the magnitude? 5 centimeter, but it is traveling towards the left side. So like force, displacement, velocity, all comes under vector quantity. Okay. Next topic. Why do we need units? Is it necessary to have units? Yes, it is compulsory to have a unit. It is a reference standard in terms of which any physical quantity can be measured. Suppose if we don't have any reference standard, suppose scale will not have any measurements, means those are having their own measurements, they will measure. If a standard reference is there, means everybody will measure in the same quantity. With that all we have learned in the 6th and 7th standard science subject. We have learned all those how the measurements will take, and how the units, how the scale has come, what are the units, how the standard it has been done. These are all we have learned in the 6th standard. So it is a reference standard in terms of which any physical quantity can be measured. Like length is measured with the meter, centimeter and kilometer. Whereas time, second, minute, hour. Whereas temperature, degree Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit, etc. So I will give you one table. So various systems of units. So this is a system. We have different types of systems like FPS, CGS, MKS. So based on this we will be having problems they will give. So you should know what is this. So length, mass and time. Everything will depends on this length, mass and time. So FPS is nothing but foot, pound, second. And whereas CGS, centimeter, gram, second. MKS, meter, kilogram and second. So all whatever the problems we will do under this MKS system. That is meter, kilogram and second. So whatever they'll give centimeter, gram, speed, even though we will change it to MKS system. If they'll give CGS system also, we will change it to MKS system. If they give FPS system also, we will change it to MKS system. So MKS system, this type of problems they will ask in the exam. So what is meant by SI unit? It is nothing but International System of Units, the full form of this. So here you can just see length, mass and time. Everything is based on this. So if they'll give length, we will do it in meter. We will convert everything. We will convert into MKS system. Okay children, the remaining I will continue in the next video. Thank you.